can ask when moon. It's an easy question to ask, but much difficult one to answer. However, history will allow you to analyze the patterns, trend, and the time horizon of what happened. So, now we will do that, and in general, short and long-term TA for XRP gives you that perspective of where to look at. Yes, it is boring when the price doesn't fluctuate much. Yes, it is boring when you do not see that 10, 15% or 20% daily gains. But do understand, boring is when you have opportunities. And once it's gone, you won't be bored. Instead, you will be regretting that you didn't take action when the price was giving you that hint that it is boring. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. When we look at the market, it just broke to the downside from the pattern, and it actually reached 0.51 but immediately kicked back up. Some of the buy positions orders were kicked in, and you can see the price is moving. That is fluctuation. So when you look at the breakout and then analyze on a shorter time frame, it's bears coming in, but on a longer time frame, you do see price predictions towards $10, $20, $100. So these are asymmetrical gains, what you are looking at by the end of this market cycle. But do understand, everyone asks, okay, when does that come in? When will that really happen? We all are waiting for that. Fundamental is that key to understand, will it really happen or not? And technical is something which gives you that idea when it's going to happen. While we were in this pattern, we broke above this one, then we were creating a smaller one of that, right? Now we just broke below, we came back towards this support trend line, then we tested that, and now we are kind of moving a little above that. Now that's on a shorter perspective, right? Now you zoom out and look at the overall trend, the long-term pattern of this entire bear market from 2018. So it's 2018, 2019, and now 2020. That's 3 years. If you look at this, the price was making lower lows here. Then it started consolidating at that area. Then it started moving within this range, this falling channel. And the base of that channel was always the resistance which was staying ahead, right? Now, in a similar perspective, something has changed, right? If you look at that change, you are able to see something like this. We had a base channel which we explained previously, so I haven't plotted that here, but you have another channel above that where the price is moving right now. Even when it is wicking to the downside, it is moving towards the daily moving average, say the 50-day moving average, and then bouncing to the upside. So if you use a 200-day moving average, you will get more clarity based on that. Then you zoom out even more and look at the XRP chart on a monthly, and then you see this. We were making higher high till this point, and then from here it's lower high, again repeated until early 2020, and then from there on this monthly chart something changed. It went up, it made a new high. Now the percentage of increase there was comparatively less, and then we came up, created a new high. Now here the volume was high and the percentage of increase in price is high. Now that's the long-term scenario, right? And when you come to the coin paprika, now you can go to different websites depending upon you, live coin watch, coin market cap, anything, it's up to you. Today it's red. Now when would you actually try to buy more? When the price is skyrocketing, or when it is actually dipping towards the support. Now, why would I actually kind of point towards buying more of these assets when it's dipping? Because in the overall range, it should go up. Now, we can actually look at this and compare. What we will be doing here is, say for example, this is BTC. Based on the price fluctuation in BTC and XRP, we will be looking and analyzing how these changes are impacting. Say this is BTC chart on a daily, and it is pointing you this vertical line is giving you Jan 17th, 2nd of Jan 17th, then 6th of March, 22nd of March. Now you go into XRP to look at that. In that early time frame, when BTC was moving to the upside, it came and touched the all-time high by Jan, then corrected back and afterwards created a new high by early March, right? Then corrected again back, dipped towards the bottom by 22nd to 24th March. Look at XRP. By that 24th March, when BTC price was correcting, XRP was getting that pump. Again, look here, BTC created a new high by early March, and by early March, XRP was doing nothing. Then it started gaining that momentum when BTC was correcting to the downside. Now that's two comparison of that time frame, and when you zoom in to look at what really happened at that all-time high, say this time, if you look at BTC by 19th November and then 26th November towards 29th November to know what happened in this cycle. Here, what we saw was what happened in the last market cycle. Now, what we are looking at is what is happening in the current market cycle. So, XRP by that time, 19th November, was in a bull flag. If you look at on a 4-hour or 12-hour, you will get more clarity on that one. Now, the idea here is from that 19th November towards 26th, BTC actually corrected 14%, say near 15%. And that was the time when XRP went to the upside again. Look here, by 26th November, BTC came down 15% and XRP went up 200%. So right now when Bitcoin is moving to the upside, don't sit in a sideline and cry that XRP is doing nothing. This is not just happening in this cycle this time, it happened in the past as well. So you look at the past, you try to figure out what happened, and that's how you see opportunities. Now again, if you go back 2017 market cycle, look at the number of days it took to that movement. Say from the first move towards the next high, it was like 11 days, and from that first time towards the end of that correction of that one was like 36 days. Now look at the same time frame for BTC. XRP pumped by 22nd March. Again, if you are looking at BTC, it was starting to slowly go back up to retest that new high which it created. And from that 23rd March, by that next 36 days, BTC went and retested the recent high which it put there. So right now, BTC broke above the recent high and it's moving towards 24K, right? So when you go back and look at XRP, you understand by that time, it created a huge high. The percentage of fluctuation is huge. So it's your decision whether to ride this asset or this asset, right? And depending on what you actually do that, look at these same time horizon. You have these time points at the bottom. Now look at the percentage of increase. Say this was the all-time highs, which we were talking about for BTC back then. BTC broke above here after 36 days, 27th April. Go back to XRP chart, you see that. XRP also started following BTC by that time. Okay. Now, from this bottom towards the upside, and then for the XRP and BTC, we'll compare the same. Say, after crossing the all-time highs, BTC went 50% up, and was correcting till 17th May. Now look at XRP by that 17th May. 17th May, from that high recently which XRP put, then XRP went up like 630%. And before that, XRP went 850%. So if you are comparing, you can easily understand the first one here was like 50% and the second one was like 61% for BTC. And if you combine both of them, it's 137 from the bottom till that top. But for XRP, just the first one was 850 and the second one was 627. So there is no need to even combine both and say we went like 1500%. Right? But if you actually measure that from the bottom, you won't be looking at just 1500%. You come up here, you take it out and look at that 7000%. That is the benefit when you get into an asset which has that massive ROI. At the end of the day, you are here investing or trading in an asset to make profit. You're not here for the technology. Now, yeah, we can say we are here because of the technology to make profit, because this market cycle is starting to the upside. Now, looking at the current scenario, BTC is around 23k, right? So from the bottom, what we would be looking at right now towards reaching that area, the price should be around 29k. So what are we actually looking at? Say this, I'll actually delete this one so that's a bit easier for you guys to see. This is 50% after the all-time highs. Why are we looking at that? 50% after the all-time highs, and when BTC broke above that was that time in past when XRP started to follow. So if we are putting that into the current terms, BTC should reach around 29k and break above that, and XRP will follow. So the return on your investment for XRP would be looking at from that perspective, from that point onwards. Now you can question yourself and ask, will this actually happen? Will history repeat? If it does repeat, that's the opportunity, and if it doesn't, it's okay. But as of now, based on all the different analysis we have done, at least history rhymes to an extent. It feels like it's repeating itself. Individuals are different, circulating supply is different, demand is different, but the market cycle has its own role to play, and that is what we are looking at right now. The long-term scenario is showing you that the trend changed, and to understand the patterns in that long-term scenario, we get to see this. The RSI is trending to the upside from a 1 year time span. That is not something small, because when you look at the last market cycle, go back in the time, and then if you want to check that RSI, the movement of RSI, how it was triggering that point even before it started happening. And that's how you understand the market cycle is about to start and we are moving to the upside. The price was really showing you that the trend to the upside was valid, right? If you zoom in, different time frame, you kind of get that. And the RSI came back below when the market cycle was over. So if you want to wait till the time when the market cycle is over and you can regret, it's up to you. But right now is the time when you should be looking at the market cycle and saying, okay, now there is an opportunity and I don't want to miss that opportunity. Yes, day trading can get boring when the price is stuck or even moving against you. The emotions will come in. Say if you move into a shorter time frame chart, now that's a mistake, shorter time frame chart for XRP, you can see that the price actually dropped back, and where the price is right now, it's bouncing from the 50-day moving average on a 4-hour chart. So if we measure that breakout from that pattern, you kind of get around 10-11% breakout it should be. So we were actually measuring to the upside, it's around 9-10%. To the bottom, it should be the same. And if you're plotting that, you will get something like this. Say, for example, you are looking at something like 9.9%, and that breakout actually should reach this area, 0.5. Now, on different exchanges, it has done differently, right? If you are going to look at it on a different exchange, it actually did that. On eToro, the price actually came to the bottom, touched 0.50, and then came back up. Right now, that indicator is showing you that we reached that target. Now, if I actually move my target, which I informed my patrons, we actually did that, right? The price came to the bottom, it touched that wick and moved. So that's what we are looking at. Right now, on a shorter time frame, we actually did that. This support is holding. So that's actually a positive news. And that is not only the positive news, we have a lot of fundamentals which we have to track. Now, there are different time span which different guys are looking at. So based on what we just talked about here, BTC should be reaching its new highs, say around 20,000, in about 36 days from when it is breaking above this. Say from here, the end of April, by the end of May, between, say, there is around 20 to 25 days difference, and then BTC broke above. So if you are putting that same time frame here, putting that 36 days here, or 25 days to be precise, it would be around Jan 20, when BTC is nearing that 30k mark, 29-30k mark, and XRP starts that bull run. Many of the analysis come closer towards February. If you remember from last 6 months or back then, we were putting out the time frame based on the market cycle, right? We tried to plot it based on all the different parameters which the market showed us. If you clear this, I can point out, like, say, the high, from the high towards the bottom, from the high towards the end of the market cycle, from the first peak towards the end of market cycle. A lot of different things we discussed, right? And then majority pointed us towards October, November, and then February. Now, if you actually look this time, November is when we got that preparatory wave of 200%. So we were not doing something wrong. Now, that was something which I talked to you guys 6 months, 7 months back, and it happened. If you go back and look at the videos, you can understand. Now, yes, the language which I use would be a little bit different because I'm not a native English speaker. So there would be errors, I understand, but the TA which you guys see on the screen is valid. And it's not just I'm saying it's going to go to the moon. You can validate the same parameters, the factors which I'm explaining, using the chart in front of you. And if you can do that, then the decision is up to you. You see that it is the fact, it is the reality which you can validate, then it's up to you. So similarly, when we are looking at 2021 February, we should have the next huge wave by that time. And if you're out of the market and miss it because it came early, that's not an excuse, because things come slowly, and that's why patience is the best factor which you need as a successful investor. Now, after February, we are still waiting for wave 3. So 10x from here should be the completion of wave 1. Then we have wave 2, wave 3. So all of these would actually take you to a huge price fluctuation. And Michael is surprisingly highlighting here. Surprisingly, one analyst, Crypto Bull, has predicted the price may touch 10 to 20 by next month, January 2021. So if that's what he is thinking about the wave, next wave, I would be looking at some time mode, say February. It can be that. Now, yeah, I can be wrong. It can happen by the end of January. But if it happens in Feb, our calculated guess is more accurate. But it's not about who is perfectly fine, perfectly wrong. It's looking at that positioning of your portfolio. If you position your portfolio, say around 0.5 right now in the reaccumulation stage, if you are able to do that, if you are able to average, you came in late after the 200% increase in XRP, then this is the opportunity for you to reduce your average towards 0.5, 0.55, so that you position your positions in XRP, and when it reaches the next high, you have the maximum return on investment. Those who have that at the bottom are the lucky ones. Those who are buying it right now are trying to be with the first guys. Now, Looking at these indicators, it's bullish for the entire market. Bitcoins surged to the record highs has investors racing to exposure. That is when you should be rethinking about that market. When the market is hitting all-time highs and it's moving to the upside and everyone and their brothers are saying, okay, this is the perfect opportunity, jump in, buy high, sell low. That's what you should do to lose your profits. And if you are thinking like a real investor, buy low and sell high. Now, the market can even go like to the moon from here. That is different story because the institutions are coming in. They may start to manipulate the market. So anyway, in any asset, institutions will come in and do that. But when the market cycle shows you it's the bottom and we are going to the upside, that is the asset which you should be targeting. The monthly chart, when it shows you that the movement is here, the volume came in, buyers or the whales are already in for this market cycle, that is an asset which you should hold on until it reaches that euphoric stage. So then you understand the general market is looking at something like this. Smaller time frame, it can burst towards $1, $1.6, or based on history, it can even move up to $1.8 to $2.2 towards $4. That's 10x or 8 to 10x from the current point, say the breakout of 0.5, that resistance. Then MAC Attack XRP is highlighting this. Flare network has not launched yet, because when you see some exchanges offering you to trade Flare, it's just an IOU. So don't get confused and say, I got Flare already. I got the Spark tokens already. Don't be confused. The reality is like this. They haven't actually put this out. They are just, exchanges are giving you that opportunity to use that, because anyway, the snapshot or the screenshot of what you hold in XRP and what will you get in that 1:1 ratio is there. Now, right now it's not 1:1 ratio. The clarity is like it's more than that, right? Just a bit above that. So the exchanges are now allowing you to do that IOU. Anyway, Michael is showing this. Saylor wants that companies like Tesla with billions of dollars in cash reserves should be racing to buy Bitcoin. If they don't, they stand to lose half that spending power in the next 3 years. Now, here in this channel, Scientific Investor has always told you that the purchasing power of your money, your fiat, is depreciating. And after this, we came to know from Elon Musk that he is bullish on Bitcoin and is buying more and more. So when you compare all of that and then look at what the Pantera Capital CEO is explaining, it gives you that idea. XRP is accumulating the cross-border money movement that everyone in the industry has been talking about for a long time. So what it is doing, it's accumulating those who are interested for cross-border money transfer. It's not only the small amounts which we are looking at, not only the small organizations, we are talking about the giants in the market of money. You always follow money to make money. If the trend is showing you the upside, you should be on that side. Even if you are trading on a shorter time frame, you should trade in that direction, not against that. When Dan Held is highlighting Bitcoin is just 0.4 trillion and gold is 10 trillion, that is valid. They can say that it's digital gold and it's being used like this, so the value should go up. But the perspective laid out by XRP Stewart is cool, and it's the reality. What we just talked here, right? The cross-border money movement. So that is like 26 billion, and in a year it's like 2.5 quadrillion. Is that a small amount to look at? Then ask the supply of XRP whether it's too low. No, they have prepared it perfectly. So now whatever you have in your portfolio, you should agree whether you should be holding that for the long run or not. So the question related to when moon is kind of this. If you are looking at and saying, yes, BTC makes those move and alts follow what BTC does, then you should be looking at BTC to understand what it is doing and what those movements mean for the altcoins. Chances are by February. Next wave should be completed. If you guys received value for your time here, please do hit that like and subscribe button. I would like to meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.